Our next topic is good luck playing close to MSRP for a used GPU. This is
Ah, yes.
extremely frustrating. I mean, man, check this out. This is an eBay link to sold listings for GTX 1070s and 1070 Ti's. Luke, 1070s are still going for $140 to $180. And that's on the low end. Here's a 1070 that sold today for $530.
Imagine 2 generations old, not top of the line, going for that much. Like, actually nuts.
That is
Not that it's a
absurd.
bad card. Like 1070s are still quite capable
Which
cards,
is
able to
exactly why
play
people are glomming
lots
onto
and
them.
lots of stuff. Yes, for sure. I'm not trying to dig on 1070s, but like for over $500, like, oh,
It is really brutal. So this topic was done up by one of our new writers who's not off probation yet. Whether it's miners, silicon shortages, or just PC building popularity, or more likely some combination of all three, it is pretty much impossible to get any decent graphics card for MSRP. 1066 gig is going for 300 US dollars with eBay listings for 250 to 400. Like that's what they're selling for. Used cards typically, 20% under MSRP, under in normal times, let alone cards from 2016. Like they should be so much less. And if you want something in the
yeah.
20 or 30 series, good luck finding them for less than nearly double MSRP. So the reason Nicholas has been researching this is because he's actually working on a video that we're going to be doing where we are going to buy cards at scalper prices, and then we are going to make them available to verified actual gamers at MSRP. So we're going a step farther, Luke. We're
Oh
going
my.
we're going beyond. Okay, so I know it started. Okay, verified actual gamer program started with us buying cards from manufacturers, but we're stepping it up. We are actually going to go find cards that accidentally or maybe on purpose got into the hands of scalpers, and we're going to get them back to gamers. Now,
Wow.
I can't promise that we're going to do too many of them that way because it really is a lot more cost effective for me to just buy them from
Yeah.
manufacturers.
There's
But,
there's also some feedback already coming in from people saying to not fund the scalpers.
well, what do you guys want me to do? Do you want gamers to have them at MSRP or not?
I
That's the
think they just
question.
want more cards directly through verified actual gamer program from the manufacturers. But I don't know.
Well, we're working on that too. So, guys, if you want more cards in the Verified Actual Gamer program, what you have to do is you have to make your voice heard. You've got to let GPU makers know. You've got to let guys like Asus and EVGA, Gigabyte, MSI, you've got to let these guys know. Zotac, hey, we want to see you guys support the Verified Actual Gamer program because we trust Linus Tech Tips to actually deliver these things into the hands of gamers, and we don't trust whoever else it is. Because honestly, I can tell you now, if your trust is shaken in the traditional supply chain, I share your sentiment. We uncovered, and I really don't want to name any names because I don't need that drama in my life, but we uncovered a situation around a recent GPU launch where manufacturers were telling us one thing about the supply and places where that supply was supposed to be was telling us other things. And so we do not believe that all the cards that were supposed to end up on shelves actually made it to shelves. But you have my personal pinky swear that every single card that comes to us from a manufacturer that we buy will go out for MSRP and no more. We actually have a really exciting announcement. I'm probably jumping the gun on this a little bit, but these guys seem jazzed to engage with us, so I think the odds are that they're going to go forward with it. It looks like EVGA is probably going to be our next partner for the Verified Actual Gamer program. So guys, be excited because you guys know EVGA is huge when it comes to GeForce. So I'm really, really excited about that. And what I want to say about EVGA is even if they don't manage to make it happen, even if they can't dig up some cards for us, they get it. Like not
Yeah.
everyone just like immediately understands what we're trying to do here, but like Jacob over there, freaking that guy gets it. I barely even had to explain it. I'm just like, yeah, we built an actually like bought, nothing is proof, but we built a really, really well-defended checkout system that really does give a huge advantage to actual gamers and no advantage to people who have, you know, bots or scalper groups or whatever else. And he was like, dang, I'm in. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. So he's trying real hard and we're really excited to work with them. But just because we've already done a drop, like say with Asus, for example, still feel free. Let those guys know that you want to see more of these drops, because the more cards we have, the longer they will last and the better chance that our regular viewers, especially you guys, will be able to get their hands on them.
There's a pretty notable amount of feedback of people saying not to buy from scalpers. I think maybe that will mean something. I'm trying to pass that feedback on, but also I would reiterate on what Linus said: is if you're fighting with that sentiment, try to help us get some more manufacturers on board. Spread some good sentiment so that we can get more stuff through the program.
Through the program is better. I mean, if you guys want, maybe what we could do is, because I can, you know what, I'm just going to tell you guys now. The concept for the video is a really fun one. I'm really excited about it. We are going to do an in-person event, which is going to be a little bit challenging in COVID times. It'll have to be like outdoors or something like that. But we are planning an in-person event where we're going to verify that people are actual gamers by having them game against me or other members of the LMG team. And the way that I intend to run it is, if you even like can demonstrate that you're a gamer, okay? So you don't walk up and play a shooter game and put your fingers on the arrow keys.
Maybe you don't beat Ed in CS right away.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, as long as you're a gamer, okay, MSRP, no problem, okay? But if you start winning, well, hey, now the price might go down.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're going to have some real fun with that event. So the intention was actually for us to buy the scalper GPUs and then sell them at MSRP or even for less, depending on how gamer you were. But what we could also do is we could just take some from the EVGA drop and we could use those to support the in-person event if you guys really don't want to see that.
Should we take a poll? Should we get a poll?
Yeah, we could get a straw poll going. I mean,
because it could be the loud few, right? I could be taking the wrong sentiment from the crowd right now. Maybe people are totally down with pulling from scalpers. Yeah. Do you want me to make it? Sorry,
I got it already. I got it.
Okay.
Okay, I've created the poll, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drop that in Floatplane chat first here real quick. Okay, Floatplane chat, you guys are ready to go?
And I mentioned a shooter. I said Counter-Strike, but I don't believe the idea was exclusively shooters. Right after I said Counter-Strike, a bunch of people in the chat were like, oh, what if I don't play shooters? Yeah. So
my intention would be to offer people a few different options, and my intention would also be to make it extremely challenging. So the kinds of games that I was going to offer people the opportunity to beat me at would be things like Halo 1, Beat Saber, and I think there was something else that I had in mind. Probably something like Super Mario World 3, the like battle thing. So these are all things that I'm like legitimately actually fairly good at. So
yeah.
We got people saying Beat Saber, let's go. You know what? Good luck. It's possible.
Linus is actually really good.
It's possible you're better than me. It is unlikely. I legit have hundreds of hours in Beat Saber.
And just as a reminder, he didn't say that you had to win. You just had to prove that you're a gamer.
That's right. Exactly.
Those are different things.
Well, it looks like the community has kind of spoken here. Should we liberate scalped GPUs? 71% of you say no. Man, I would have thought people would have been jazzed about this. Here I am trying to like, it goes to show you, maybe I just don't even know what I'm doing and I should quit. Because here I am, I'm making gold Xbox controllers and nobody gives a shit. I'm like, hey, let's like use my own money to buy scalped GPUs and like make them available to the community for less than MSRP. Woo, go Linus. And it's like, no, Linus, don't do that. I hate it. I hate it.
I think the idea here is to take Robin Hood's kind of thing.
Sure.
You're buying from the rich to give to the poor.
So I should
instead
steal
of taking
them
from the rich. And a way to but a way to sort of maybe do that is to acquire more GPUs directly from manufacturers, so they don't filter their way through shady back channels directly to scalpers or to miners or whatever.
Okay.
So if you can get them and hand them directly, you're bypassing all of the bad.
Okay, I mean that is fair. I mean, the reality of it is, though, that there's going to be a limit to how many that I can get my hands on.
Yes.
And honestly, one of the things I was a little concerned about with Verified Actual Gamer Program is like, don't get me wrong, guys, like we are still making money on those GPUs. And I'm legitimately not, it's not good for me to sell them below the MSRP, because what that does is it undermines the hardworking people who are trying to make a living selling computer hardware, like computer stores. Like that's actually
when they're doing it legitimately.
It's bad for the industry for me to undercut people. So it really is at MSRP. So it's not a ton of money, quite frankly. The margins are not great, but I am actually
GPUs
making
traditionally are not very good
money on it. So this was a way for me to try to kind of say like, hey guys, look, Verified Actual Gamer Program like really isn't about, I am making money, but it's not about making money. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna blow some of that money on these scalped ones as a way of sort of giving back as well. But if people don't want it, it's like, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Linus Media Group Incorporated, we're a business. We're down to make money. So
I think the video concept, personally, I'm just going to interject here.
Yeah.
I think the video concept is fantastic. I think you can still totally do it.
Hopefully we can get GPUs.
Yeah, hopefully we can get more manufacturers on board. Hopefully we can get more product, and then it takes away from the online launches less. And then you can still do the video concept, because that's a really, I mean, I would watch that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Battle Royale for being able to have gaming. It's kind of brutal, but really cool at the same time. That's something that like, if I was currently in the market for a GPU and I was struggling to get one, and I heard this event was going on, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
I know, because like
at the very least, you literally already said you don't have to win. You just get a better deal if you do win. There's no way I'm going to show up to an event and not appear like a gamer. You know what I mean? And that's probably true for a lot of people in the audience. Like, yeah, you might not beat Linus in Beat Saber, but if you can show that you know kind of what you're doing with a VR headset, you understand how stuff works, and you understand basic gaming flow and stuff like that, you'll appear like a gamer.
Or even if you just demonstrate that you've like played a rhythm game before, you know what's up.
Yeah. You know what you're supposed to, some block is flying at you and you get it. Like that's, you understand what you're supposed to do at the very least.
So yeah, you know what, guys, if you want to see more cards in the Verified Actual Gamer Program, apparently me personally buying them from scalpers is not the answer. So, in that case, we need more cards from manufacturers. I just want to take a moment to shout out the guys that have supported the Verified Actual Gamer Program so far. Asus was in first. MSI was shortly behind. Like they were right into it. So credit to both of those guys because guys, this is a really unconventional thing, and it's very disruptive to the regular supply chain. So those guys went out on a limb to support this program, and massive props to AMD as well. AMD, I think, is the one so far that has gone way above and beyond in terms of their support. When we have our AMD drops, expect to see some serious stock of Ryzen 5900X and of Radeon 6800 XTs. Like, we are really, really excited about those drops. So those guys were in first. And then it's actually, I don't want that to take anything away from EVGA. I didn't approach EVGA yet until like 2 days ago, because we wanted to see honestly, even having 3 partners lined up before we did a single drop, no offense, Luke, but I was terrified.
Oh yeah, no, so was I. It's fine.
Because if for whatever reason the technology didn't work, we were gonna look like complete assholes, right? So now that we've had one really successful drop, other than that error message that kind of didn't go away, which we have fixed now, now that we have got a successful drop, man, the Verified Actual Gamer Program is open for business. So huge shout out to Asus, MSI, AMD and to EVGA so far for recognizing what we're doing, recognizing that it's important, and putting their money where their mouth is and supporting the program.
Yeah, and like maybe I can give some back end baseball. I don't think that's how that phrase works.
Inside baseball. I think
inside
that's what you're
baseball.
looking for.
I can explain a little bit of back end. That's why I thought, okay. What was kind of going on there was we tried to build this. We essentially, we didn't want any of these cards to be remaining when we were done, right? And there was a reality, and I'm pretty sure this actually did happen, where some people didn't even want to buy the card, but they ended up on this video and they ended up on that part of the video and they're like, what's this? And they wanted to check it out, and then they see this quiz and they're like, oh, I'm a gamer, and they want to go through the quiz, and they finish the quiz and they're like, oh, wait, I don't want to buy a card. So we wanted a system where if someone didn't buy the card that they just got the chance to buy, it would release that card back to the next most recent person who had successfully completed the quiz.
The gamer gauntlet.
Yes.
Because it won't always necessarily be a quiz.
Fair. True. Interesting. Letting people know. But yeah, so there was essentially a queuing system so we could make sure that all the graphics cards went. We also were manually approving every single purchase so that we could have that's just another layer of trying to make sure that these are getting the cards into the hands of the right people.
Hey, Luke, give yourself credit. It was not trying to make sure. We made sure.
We made sure. Yeah.
That's simple.
Okay. Yeah. And there was some conflict there where we didn't quite get the right use case, and it ended up not properly flagging. So because things were not, the payment for things wasn't manually captured yet, it wasn't like 100%. I'm going to say this wrong, and Will and Yuki are going to get mad at me, but because it wasn't manually captured yet, the inventory wasn't processed in the way that we were kind of expecting.
Yeah.
So it was sitting there waiting and verifying your quiz and not telling you that you were waiting in queue, but you were either waiting in queue or there was also no inventory left. Most people that got to that screen, there was no inventory left.
But the good news is that the queuing system worked properly. It was just it was just the communication around the queuing system that did not work properly, because the back end has 3 states for inventory: in stock, not in stock, and maybe in stock.
Yeah.
And what we didn't account for was that maybe no man's land, and how we were manually verifying the orders on the back end and how that would interact, so it wasn't giving the error message correctly. So we're learning a lot. Like, guys, you know what? I mean, there's websites dedicated to doing these kinds of drops of limited edition items that have been around for years and years. And we're just kind of jumping into it because we felt like we had to.
Someone said, so I did bleep up reloading from that verifying. No, actually, you were fine. This was the thing. It all actually worked. It just didn't appear proper for like a few different reasons. But if you refreshed and then it was like, oh, there's none left, there was none left. And you needed to refresh for the site to tell you that properly. Yeah. But that was the actual result. That is what you got. It required a refresh to like update you properly. Yeah.